Hey kids, how's it going? It's Mr. Hessian. Hope you're staying safe and healthy with you and your loved ones. All right, so just a couple things as far as feedback goes for the mortgage calculations. So David, I want to give you a shout out. Great job calculating the mortgages. Your math was on the money. And Savannah, you did a really good job too. So for those who haven't turned it in yet, please make sure that you hand in the assignments, and I'll give you the feedback and work with you as we move on with the school year. But when you're looking at mortgages, just understand that you could always refinance, and that I'm in the middle of doing that right now. So I have my mortgage with Rocket Mortgage. My original was TD Bank, and my interest rate was at like 4.86%, something like that. Last year, the numbers went down to 3.99%. So I was able to save about $160 a month by refinancing. And I'm in the middle of refinancing again. The interest rates dropped down to 3.3%. Hopped on board, I'm saving $120. So almost 3 years later, I'm paying less for my mortgage because I refinanced twice, saving about $300 a month. Now, that would be a terrible decision for me financially if I had, say, 25 years in my mortgage and I take out another 30-year mortgage. So my brother, he's in finance. He works for Citibank. He says you should refinance, if it makes sense to, within the first 4 or 5 years of having a mortgage. Having this mortgage now for 3 years, I've now done it twice. I don't see the interest rates coming down any further, and if they do, they'd have to be next to zero for me to refinance again. Because every time I refinance, I roll in the closing costs, which add up quite quickly. So even though I have a bigger mortgage, I do have a smaller monthly payment, and that was always my goal, to save money. I got 2 kids in daycare, and I want to make some improvements in my house. I've mentioned before, my kitchen specifically. I despise my kitchen. But those are the little things as far as interest rates go, mortgages, mortgage calculations. Just understand that that calculator is a pretty good calculator in figuring out mortgages. And the more that you put down, the less you will pay per month. Okay. How much can you put down for a house? And some of them, like Wells Fargo, see the commercial 3%. I would recommend putting a little more than 3% down because you're going to have a higher mortgage payment. So it's always a balance for people to figure out how much can they afford. My advice to you as you get older and you're looking for buy a house or maybe rent, what can you afford per month, and work backwards. And that's what you can figure out. If you can afford only $1,700 a month, well, you're not likely going to buy a $800,000 house. But if you can afford, say, a $2,500 a month mortgage with taxes and all that included, then you could start looking around to see how much you need to save to get to that number. So buying a house involves planning way ahead of time. And that's something that I need to emphasize with this. But again, for those who have handed in, good job. We'll be sending you individual feedback. And for those who haven't done it yet, please do so when you can. Thanks.